Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts, coming to you from snowy Western New York. It just keeps coming, although it's supposed to stop tonight. So maybe life can get back to normal soon. I tried making a video yesterday, but ran into technical difficulties. And rather than try to fix the technical difficulties, I just deleted the video because I had hat hair and I was tired and I was rambling and it's just, yeah, let's scrap that. Yesterday I spent a lot of time on the computer figuring out my 2023 figures. I have a spreadsheet that's, oops, my bag for putting finished stuff in just decided to roll away. I have a spreadsheet in Excel that I made up that has a calculation bar at the top that will tell me how much I've sold, what my expenses are, and what my running total is for the year. But I just wanted to break it down a little bit and see, like that just bunches everything. Oh, see, I reuse scrap paper from church, from work. Someone wanted this candy cane poem printed up, and when I tried printing it from her PDF, it printed like this with tiny print. So I had to do a screenshot and turn it sideways, and then the pieces were like twice as big, and you could actually read the poem. But I ran the copies before I realized I thought it would print landscape and they'd be a good size, but it printed portrait, and I had like a dozen copies. So I brought them home and I'm printing on the back of them. Okay. For sales, I would have thought, oh, my craft shows didn't do all that well. I did better on Etsy. No. The 16 shows that I did totaled $3,259.50. I'll put some numbers up here. My Etsy sales were $1,160. So the shows were almost 3 times what I sold on Etsy. But Etsy didn't do all that well last year either, so it's not surprising. I sold $93.89 worth of patterns. From local orders, I got local orders for $153. That's when somebody who's a friend of mine on Facebook says, hey, can you make this for me? Okay. And there were some miscellaneous things like prizes and coffee, and my blog finally got to the point where Google sent me a check. So I got my first check for my blog this year after having the blog for probably about 12 years. All those little clicks added up. Now it looks like my blog is making about $2 a month. Okay, let's see. It'll take another 4 years before I get a check. But once I get monetized on YouTube, I guess it's both from the same Google. So the blog plus YouTube, I should be getting a check before 4 years. Okay, that was the income. A total of $4,797.29. Not exactly to retire on. Then expenses. How much do you think I spent on yarn? There were only 4 trips to Hobby Lobby, only 4 trips to Joann, 7 trips to Michael's, and 8 trips to Savers. Oh, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 trips to Goodwill. 3 of them had yarn, 2 of them had storage cubes and display stuff. And there's probably like City Mission, Second Chance. There's probably 1 or 2 other thrift shop things. I spent $437.19 on yarn. I was a good girl. I spent $63.17 on patterns and books. Show registrations, $740 for the craft shows. So $740 out, $3,759 in. Hopefully it'll be better this year because I've got a couple of summer shows that have the potential to be really good if the weather's good. Etsy fees, $315. Furniture and supplies, like in October was when we changed this room into the craft room. So I bought the 2 cabinets behind me and another shelf. I bought side walls for my tent. I bought another table. So I did spend $352 on various supplies. There was $200 in there for a hotel for one of my away shows. There was another away show where my husband went with me down to my daughter's house, so we got a hotel. The hotel overbooked, so they switched us over. Instead of this hotel that's like a mile and a half from my daughter's house, we went to a hotel that was 15 minutes away, but we got to stay for free. So there were 2 out-of-town shows where we stayed in hotels. Or I stayed once by myself. My husband was with me the one time, but we only paid for one. And postage was over $350. So my total expenses were $2,521.66. So, it looks like I made about $2,000, a little over $2,000. But I keep track of my mileage. If I go to the post office, I get a receipt and track my mileage. So even though my tangible expenses were $2,000 less than okay, how do I explain this? When you just subtract those two, looks like I made $2,000, but for tax purposes, deducting my mileage too, I'm in the hole. So keep track of your mileage. If you go to the store and there's a Dollar Tree next door, run in and get some packing tape. And okay, you've got business supplies. Just keep track of what you need to get and tack it on to another trip. Keep track of your mileage. Your tax person will like that. I also updated a sheet that I have where I list all of my really good sellers, like my Axolotls and Ankylosaurus and Ballerina Kitty and Highland cows. And just, it's like a one-page list that shows me, okay, you're running low on this, you need to make this. So I have that updated. I need to make some airplanes. I need to make some African flower turtles. I really need to make some more sleepy axolotls. Those are axolotls in a little sleeping bag. So this gives me a jumping off point once I'm done with my January goals. Okay, one of my January goals was to finish up the Mystery Yarn Challenge, and I did. You've seen the picture of me holding all that yarn, 4 skeins of yarn. This is all that's left. White, oops, will go into the white tray. Tan will also go into the scrap tray. Variegated and blue will get tied onto my scrappy ball for my next Mr. Ugly. So I am done with all of my yarn for the Mystery Yarn Challenge. What did I make? I don't know if I can get these in order. I made an owl, one, an Ankylosaurus, Buddy Bear 2.0, 3. Louie the monkey, 4. Ballerina Kitty, 5. A hat for the starfish organization, 6. Sleepy Axolotl. It's a little axolotl with a little sleeping bag, 7. And for my Ami Book Challenge, looks like a monkey. My Ami Book Challenge for January was to make an item from this book that I got from Thrift Books quite some time ago. So I made a little robot. What was that? 7, 8? So he finished off the yarn. Yay! I also had a little fun this week. My friend Katie over at Yarn Society is getting ready to release a new pattern for some tiny, tiny little no-sew dinosaurs. So I made 2 of them so far. And I was inspired by a video. I think it's Melly inspired. Sorry, I gotta get a drink here. Oh, my Fitbit is still charging. I need to go put that on. She put up a video saying, how many elephants do you think I can get from this one skein of yarn? And she said it was a no-sew elephant pattern that only took her, I think she said 25 minutes. So I tried it. Blur. I have a little purple elephant now. Story of this purple yarn. Years ago, someone gave me like a size 5X sweater that Grandma had knit for herself, and Grandma had passed away. They had this big sweater, and they said, here, can you use it for the yarn? So I tore this sweater apart. I ended up with a couple pounds, maybe, I think, because it was a pretty heavy sweater, a couple pounds of yarn. And when I was doing craft shows, I did a show at a senior center, not a senior center, an assisted living center where my mother was living. And the director there was like, oh, your little animals are cute, but here, if you made shawls, you would sell out. People would buy the shawls. So for the next show, they would do shows at Christmas time and Mother's Day. I had a couple of shawls ready, including one made with this yarn. Nope, none of them sold. That was like 10 years ago, and I still had the shawl sitting in the closet in a bag. So I frogged the shawl that was made with yarn frogged from the sweater. I made the elephant. So you will probably be seeing a bunch of little purple items coming up soon. That's it. I'm probably not going to work today because it's still supposed to storm all day today. So I am going to be working on filling in spots on this chart and trying to get some stuff up on Etsy and just catching up a little bit on paperwork. I did get a lot done yesterday, but I need to update my list that tells me what I still need to do with finished items. Like my little elephant. I want to put that on Ravelry and give credit to the designer if the pattern's on Ravelry so I can link them. I need to add it to my inventory spreadsheet, and I need to get it on Etsy. I'm sort of lagging behind with my goal of getting 20 items listed on Etsy this month. I'm either up to 5 or 6, and the month is over half over, so I should be up to 10 by now. So maybe today I'll make big progress on that. So that's it. I have the day to play with yarn now. So I'll finish up my coffee. I mean, it's I don't have my Fitbit on, so I can't tell you. I think it's getting close to 11 o'clock, and I'm still not done with my coffee. But I'm getting there. It's only warm. It's not hot anymore. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow what I got done today, because I think today's going to be a very productive day. Bye-bye.